Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a journey into a really foundational text in Hindu spiritual tradition, the Vishnu Sahasranamam.
That's right. And the name itself, the Thousand Names of Vishnu, tells you a lot. It's central, especially for Vaishnavas, who see Lord Vishnu as the supreme god.
The thousand names? It implies this huge scope, doesn't it? Like trying to capture, well, everything about the divine.
Exactly. It suggests a really deep dive into Vishnu's divine essence, showing just how multifaceted divinity is conceived in Hinduism. It's not just one simple idea.
And the origin story is embedded right within the Mahabharata epic.
Yes, specifically in the Anushasana Parva.
Yeah.
This is chronologically set right after the massive Kurukshetra war, a time of intense reflection.
So the key figures involved are Bhishma, the wise grandsire,
Revered figure.
who's wounded, famously lying on that bed of arrows, and Yudhishthira, the eldest Pandava brother.
Right, and Yudhishthira is really burdened by the war, the cost of victory, the sheer destruction. He's grappling with it all.
And Bhishma, he had that unique ability, didn't he, to choose when he would depart his body.
Yes, the boon of Ichamrityu. He was waiting for what's called Uttarayana, an auspicious time to pass.
So Lord Krishna actually advises Yudhishthira, seeing his distress, to go seek wisdom from Bhishma in this state.
It's a powerful image, isn't it? The battlefield, Bhishma waiting, Yudhishthira seeking answers, and Krishna facilitating this moment of profound knowledge transfer.
It really sets the stage. This isn't just casual advice. It's framed as a crucial transmission of spiritual understanding.
Absolutely. And what Yudhishthira is looking for, it's not about ruling or politics anymore.
No, he wants something fundamental, a path, maybe a simple but profound one, to find peace, maybe even salvation after everything he's seen.
He's asking for the essence, really. And that tells you why this text is often just called the Sahasranama. For many, it is the key text for understanding and connecting with Vishnu.
Okay, let's really picture that scene on the Kurukshetra battlefield. The war's over, but the mood is anything but celebratory for Yudhishthira.
No, he's surrounded by the aftermath, the loss. He's the victor, but deeply troubled.
And yet there's Bhishma, physically incapacitated, but his mind, his wisdom is completely intact.
It really highlights that inner strength, that spiritual insight can persist even through immense suffering. He's this moral anchor.
And it's here that Yudhishthira asks these really core questions, 6 of them.
Yes, and they go right to the heart of Hindu spiritual inquiry. Yes, things like, who is the greatest Lord?
The ultimate refuge for everyone.
Right, and by glorifying, whom can people find peace, prosperity?
By worshiping, whom do we attain true auspiciousness?
And then crucially, what is the greatest dharma, the highest duty or path?
And finally, the practical question. By doing japa, repeating whose name or mantra, can we get beyond this cycle of samsara, birth and death?
These are the universal questions, really. What's ultimate? Where's safety? How do we live right? How do we find freedom?
And Vishma's answer, it's direct.
Very direct. He points to the recitation of the Vishnu Sahasranamam. He states clearly that the highest dharma is constant worship and praise of Vishnu Vasudeva with unwavering devotion.
So reciting these names isn't just ritual, it's presented as the actual method for overcoming sorrow, for liberation.
Precisely. Bhishma presents it as the way. It's a practical tool for spiritual fulfillment, for understanding dharma not just as rules, but as the underlying cosmic order.
Okay, so we have the context, the questions, the main answer. Let's look at some specific parts, the shlokas. It starts with the Purva Bhaga.
Yes, the introductory verses. Think of them as setting the stage, creating an auspicious atmosphere for the recitation, preparing the mind.
And that first one, Shuklam Baraharam Vishnum, many people would recognize it. What's it saying?
The literal translation is something like, meditate on Vishnu dressed in white, moon-colored, four-armed, cheerful face to remove all obstacles.
Okay, let's unpack the symbols. White robes, purity.
Yes, purity. The moonlight color suggests serenity, peace, auspiciousness.
And the 4 arms holding specific items.
Right. They represent his divine functions.
Yep.
You have the conch, the primordial sound dome, the discuss, the Sudarshana chakra power over ignorance, negativity, the mace strength, authority, and the lotus purity creation, spiritual growth.
And the cheerful face aspect.
That emphasizes his benevolent nature. He's approachable, compassionate. So meditating on this form is meant to invoke his grace, clearing the path for the devotee.
It emphasizes intention too, doesn't it? Starting with a pure focus.
Exactly. You need that clear mind. Then there are verses honoring the lineage, the sages involved in bringing this text forth.
Like Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram. Who is Vyasa and why mention his lineage?
Vyasa is traditionally credited as the compiler of the Mahabharata, and thus the Sahasranamam within it. This verse traces his line back through respected sages like Vasishta and Shakti. It calls him the sinless son of Parashara, highlighting his purity, and the father of Shuka, another key sage. He's a treasure of austerities.
So it's grounding the text in a respected tradition, saying this comes from a source of deep wisdom.
Precisely. It's about the authority and the transmission of knowledge through enlightened beings. Then you have Vyasa Vishnurupaya.
Which seems to equate Vyasa with Vishnu himself.
It does. Salutations to Vyasa, who is Vishnu, and to Vishnu, who is Vyasa. It suggests a kind of non-dual relationship, that the compiler embodies the divine essence he's writing about. It also salutes Vasishta again as a treasure of Brahman, ultimate reality.
Reinforcing the divine connection.
Yes, underscoring its spiritual weight. And then we get to Bhishma's direct answer to Yudhishthira's big questions.
Jagat Pravam Deva Devam. This feels like the thesis statement.
It really is. The Supreme Karusha, Lord of the world, God of gods, eternal, best among all. One should always glorify that Lord Sri Mahavishnu by chanting his 1,000 names. It directly points to Vishnu as the supreme being.
Answering Yudhishthira point blank, which brings us naturally to the names themselves. The core, the first verse, Vishvam Vishnurvashkara. What do these opening names mean?
Okay, so Then Vishvam, he is the universe, the totality. Vishnu, the all-pervading one, consciousness permeating everything. Vishkar, this connects him to Vedic sacrifice, the embodiment of that ritual energy, the cosmic order.
And the last part, Bhutabhavyaphavapraho.
That means the Lord of the past, present, and future, master of time itself.
Wow. So, right from the start, it establishes Vishnu as, well, everything. The universe, consciousness, cosmic processes, time itself.
Exactly. It sets the scale. He's the ultimate reality. Now, jumping towards the end of the text, there's the Phala Shruti, the verses on the fruits or benefits of reciting it. And there's an interesting bit involving Parvati and Shiva.
Right. Parvati asks for an easier way, doesn't she? How can ordinary people chant these 1,000 names easily and quickly? It's a very practical concern.
It is. The essence of her question, sometimes attributed to Yudhishthira in the source text itself, but often told this way, is about accessibility. How can scholars, or anyone really, manage this regularly?
And Shiva's response is quite famous.
Very famous. He says essentially, recite Sri Rama Rama Rama. Just repeating the name Rama with devotion brings the same delight and merit. That single name is equal to the 1,000 names of Vishnu.
That's huge. It highlights the power of Rama's name, an avatar of Vishnu, and offers a simpler path.
It absolutely does. It shows the interconnectedness of the divine forms and acknowledges the need for accessible practices, while still upholding the power of the full Sahasranamam. Focused devotion is key.
So thinking about devout Hindus who engage with this text and story, what really is the core significance? Why is reciting it so important?
Well, the number one reason is the promise of spiritual merit, leading towards liberation or moksha. Vishnu himself says meditating on these names frees you from sins. That carries enormous weight.
Coming from him in that context.
Exactly. It's positioned as the best, maybe the easiest, path to relief from suffering, from the cycle of rebirth. Vishnu's authority makes that promise deeply compelling for believers.
And beyond liberation, it's about building that personal relationship with Vishnu.
Absolutely. Each name is like a window into a different quality or aspect of Vishnu. Chanting them is a way to meditate on those qualities, to feel closer, to strengthen that bond. It turns recitation into bhakti yoga, the path of devotion.
There's also a strong element of seeking blessings, protection.
Definitely. There's a widespread belief that chanting the Sahasranamam invokes Vishnu's grace and acts as a kind of spiritual shield. Protection from negative influences, misfortunes, life's difficulties, divine support.
How does it fit into daily life for people?
For many, it's part of their daily puja or morning prayers, also recited on special occasions. But there's this concept, nitya prayanam, suggesting you can recite it regularly, anytime, anywhere, which makes it very accessible.
And while just chanting the sounds is considered beneficial.
Yes, the sonic vibrations themselves are seen as powerful. But understanding the meaning of each name, maybe through commentaries by great scholars like Adi Shankaracharya, adds a whole other layer. It deepens the experience immensely.
So it's the sound, the meaning, the devotion all working together. Okay, let's talk about the range of benefits people believe come from this practice.
Spiritually, the primary focus is transformation, purification, mind, body, soul, leading to greater inner clarity, heightened spiritual awareness. The ultimate goal, again, is transcending material attachments, reaching moksha, and deepening that devotional connection.
Does it extend to mental and emotional well-being too?
Yes, very much so. It's widely believed to promote mental peace, calmness, stability. People use it to alleviate anxiety, stress. It's also thought to improve focus, concentration, mental clarity, kind of replenishing the mind with positive qualities.
What about more tangible material benefits?
Within the bounds of righteous living, yes. It's believed to help overcome financial struggles, attract good fortune, happiness, prosperity, and also help fulfill righteous desires, achieve legitimate life goals, always within the framework of Dharma, of course.
Not just wishing for anything, but aligning with a righteous path.
Correct. And then there's that strong theme of protection.
The spiritual shield idea.
Exactly. Offering divine protection against all sorts of adversity, enemies, misfortunes, obstacles. Some believe it can help remove negative karmic influences, even difficulties arising from planetary positions. It's also said to reduce conflicts within families, fostering peace at home.
So bringing it all together, the Vishnu Sahasranamam, emerging from this critical moment in the Mahabharata, offers this incredibly rich, layered way to connect with Vishnu.
It's much more than a list. It's a whole spiritual practice, believed to have this wide spectrum of benefits, from the deeply spiritual to the practical aspects of life.
And for you, listening, seeking knowledge, perhaps efficiently, hopefully this deep dive gives you a solid grasp of why this scripture is so significant, so revered.
Absolutely. It's a shortcut into understanding a complex and profound piece of spiritual heritage.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Those 1,000 names describe countless divine attributes. Reflect on which one, perhaps even one we just touched on, resonates most with you. What quality of the divine draws your attention? Thinking about that might offer some insight into your own path, your own connection to the cosmos, something to ponder after we wrap up.